Okay, my first Indy 500 was 1972, and around a 1968 Eagle with a driver named Mike Hiss. And we were both rookies. I'd never been to Indy before, neither had he. Like I say, you push the car out and there's 250, 300,000 people there cheering you on. I'd never experienced anything like that before. And I just, like I say, it was one of those things that you can't really explain it. Well, the car was an Eagle, but it had like 75-gallon fuel capacity. And when you fueled it, the driver said you could feel the tub, the fuel tank is hitting in his ribs, because all the fuel coming in so fast. And it was pretty neat because people would take you under, if you had a problem or something like that, people would always help you. Drivers would help Mike, and chief mechanics would help me because, like I said, I'd never been there before. And then the next year, I was the chief mechanic on Wally Dallenbach's car when I was working for Dan Gurney. And we were involved with an accident, a pretty bad accident, had to fix the car overnight and ran the next day. So that was another interesting experience. Back then, you could build a car in your garage and be competitive. Now every car is a spec car. I think they're built in Italy or England or something like that. All the engines are the same, the cars are the same, just different paint jobs. Back then we had V8s, we had Offenhausers and Buicks, and it was more fun, to me anyway. The whole thing was a great experience. I remember this car. This car has an Offenhauser 4-cylinder turbo engine. I can't remember the horsepower, but I think it's close to 1,000 horsepower at full boost for qualifying boost. A couple years later, then they started putting a pop-off valve, so you can only use a certain amount of boost. But this one was unlimited. But I was there when all these cars were being built, and we would be given a project like fabricate an upright or fabricate a rocker or a suspension piece. I know on the rockers, we just tacked them together and sent them out and had somebody else do all the final welding on them. But everything else we did.
So you don't know specifically if you had your hands on this car, but?
Most likely I did because, like I say, we would have 15 uprights or wishbones to make. So one of them could be on the car. I do have a blueprint of the front bulkhead of a car like this. So I also helped make some of those too. So can't think of anything else. I just remember making stuff like the water pipe on top of the engine. I remember making exhaust systems, helping build that. Like I say, we all pitched in. We had different things to do, but we all worked together. And Phil Remington, of course, was a chief fabricator, and we all worked under him. Something like that you can't replace today.